So the subject today is spiritual journey for you and me. In one pamphlet by mistake they wrote spiritual journey for you and him. Now the matter today, the practical things we will discuss tomorrow. Thing is spirituality something meant only for a certain section of society? Was it only meant for people who go away to the hills? Here you don't have to go away to the hills, you are living in the middle. What I mean is it only for people who are renunciates? Who have nothing other than a cowpea and a commentary? People who cannot live in society and who live in the caves in the Himalayas. Is spirituality meant only for them? If it is meant only for them, then we have nothing to do with it. It doesn't benefit us in any way. We are saying, and this is what I have learned from Maheshwarnath Babaji, my guru, my teacher, and also from the example of so many other great spiritual teachers, plus the great spiritual teacher called Krishna, who assumes the role of a teacher and teaches Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita. That spirituality is natural to all people, to most people. That it's not confined to people who don't do anything and retire into the forest. So this is what I want to deal with today. I could have easily taken up a chapter of the Gita or one chapter from the Upanishad, as we did many times in Madhigiri. Today I want to discuss this subject. So when I say that it is common search for all the spiritual journey, what do I mean by it? Because now let us not mix up religion and spirituality for the time being. Of course, all religions have started from someone's deep spiritual experience. That is understood. Somewhere along the line, if you look at any religion, an individual had a certain spiritual experience. So he formulated rules and regulations so that people can practice certain things and get the same experience or a similar experience which he had. Now from the formulation of the rules and regulations, religions have come. And depending upon where this person was located geographically and what society he was dealing with, there are changes, there are differences. But the root has to be someone's spiritual experience. That's where it starts. So I think now we have grown to a level where it's time for us to evolve out of this, the watertight structure of religion and move into spirituality, which is a common ground for all. And this is not my saying. I'm not saying it only because I believe in it. 2000 years ago, the Rig Veda said, Ekam Sat Vipra Bahula Vedanti. There is only one truth, but the wise may call it by many names. So the root is that search for truth, from which religions are coming. Unfortunately, what happens after a while, the rules and regulations and what one has to practice in society to go to the root or the essence of spirituality is almost completely abandoned, and people stick only to the rules or to the external organizational aspects. And when that happens, slowly the inner truth is wiped out. Not wiped out, it is submerged. It cannot be wiped out. Truths are eternal, nobody can wipe them out. They are submerged. So therefore we have to dig now to find out where did this come from. If somebody said, be kind, what is the connection between being kind and reaching your spiritual goal? This we can examine tomorrow, this part of it. As far as the organizing aspect is concerned, nothing can function without an organization. Understood. But when the organization becomes more important than the reason for which it was started, then we are in trouble. We have this favorite story. Some of our friends have heard it many times, but you also must have, but it's worth repeating. It seems once the devil and his close friend went for a walk. So the devil suddenly bent down and picked up something from the grass and put it in his pocket. So his friend asked him, "What have you picked up?" So the devil said, "I have just picked up the truth. Truth. Satya." Now his friend said, "Satyameva Jayate," always truth will win. So if you have picked up the truth and put it in your pocket, your days are numbered. You are finished. You are finished. Because you are the opposite of truth. Your darkness, your lies, your everything. So you have taken the truth, surely you are going to be destroyed. The devil smiled and patted his friend on his shoulders and said, "Don't worry, friend, I'll organize it." You understand what I'm talking about? So, while organization is essential for functioning, when it becomes more important than the core, then there is only religion left. The spirituality has vanished. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying that you should not be religious. That's fine. And there are many ways of being religious. One, normally we know, go to the temple and pray. May the coffee have a good price today. This is also religion. I'm not saying anything wrong with that. You have to appeal to higher powers to get things to happen. It's okay. But the spiritually inclined person is not satisfied with coffee prices. There are other things also. Because happiness does not always come from outward circumstances. You can be surrounded by many things, but still be unhappy because something is missing. This is the spiritual search. It is common to all of us. If you look at our lives, you will see that we have some things, we don't have something. When we find that thing, we don't have anything, something else. So what is that situation in which whether you have something or you don't have something, you have still touched the essence of truth from where there is a constant flow of joy. When I say spirituality for you and me, I am supposing that all of us are looking for happiness. I don't think anybody here is not looking for happiness. I am. Which is why I am in Madikeri. And I know I don't depend on Madikeri for happiness, but I am just saying, all of us, all sane people, look for happiness. There is no sane person who does not look for happiness. Even when somebody commits suicide, the idea is that perhaps when this misery is over, I will be happy. We don't know whether they survive after that. Suppose they survive. They feel at least I have got rid of this, I am tired, I don't want this sorrow anymore. Now this is a fact, we are not imagining that even what we see as a person with everything that we think one should have to be happy is not happy. And one, second, not fulfilled. I am yet to see somebody that I am fulfilled. There is no fulfilling. It's a little bit spilled, but it's almost like a person sitting in a bar. You never get full till you become unconscious. So, this fulfillment is what one seeks. And fulfillment is also happiness. Remaining happiness. And not only fulfillment, but complete security, which we know we don't have. Where do we have complete security? When we think everything is secure, By the time we make everything secure, the hair has gone grey, So when everything is secure, then the knee pain comes. And when the knee pain is about to go, we are resting in peace. So seeing all this, you and I, all of us, search for something. Perhaps there is something where we can be at peace, no matter what the external circumstances are, and no matter we are not in the Himalayas but staying right here in the middle of the marketplace. This is the spirituality I am talking about. Now this search for happiness, security and tranquility and peace is universal. Why human being? Even the chimps look for happiness. Incidentally, the chimps have one extra chromosome than Homo sapiens. We have one less, that's why we have grown. Now, this seeking has been beautifully described by the great saint Kabir Das. He said that this happiness which you and I are seeking need not be found anywhere by looking for it or become a hermit or a sannyasi or something of the kind. It's something that is with you, innate, in your inner being, in your very essence. It's there. There is nowhere you need to go to search for it. And he likened it to the musk deer, the Kasturi Mriga, musk deer. You find them only in the upper slopes of the Himalayas now. That also is coming down because of man's selfishness. So don't use any perfume where they say it is musk, because they would have probably slaughtered a musk deer. That is clear. Now the musk deer has a small little pouch somewhere in its stomach, abdominal area, behind under the tail. When the proper season comes, musk is produced. And there is a beautiful fragrance acting. Now the poor deer doesn't understand where this is coming from. He thinks it is coming from outside. So this is Kabir Das's example. He goes around searching for it and not able to find it. Even get bleeding his snout because he goes poking his face into the thorns. Kabir says, this is the situation of all human beings, you and me, who are looking for happiness, thinking that it is dependent on external factors. While it is like the musk in the pouch which is under the tail of the deer, right inside you. This is the search for spirituality.